Hello, hello, my dear friends, you've reached Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. She'll help improve your fitness, but there's also so much more. 'Cause here are just a few things that this channel has in store. There's barre and there's Pilates and there's belly dancing too. And many styles of yoga, so I'm sure there's one for you. Then watch her practice piano string from right within her home. She's in such big condition, she'll outrun the metronome. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. They're the best place on the internet, the very best by far. It's not just the piano, but the ukulele too. The guitar and violin are even more that she can do. She does so many different things, it's hard not to lose track. I nearly didn't mention that she posts on her Substack. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. Yet controversial topics may be brought up for discussion, but try not to provoke her or she'll swear at you in Russian. And sometimes certain topics can make quite a big impression. So remember, you take part at your own risk and your discretion. Yeah, Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. You might even meet Anitta if you're quite a loyal fan. She's got a fixed male cat, but she's so desperate for a man. We've really got it all, then you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. The best place on the internet, the very best by far.
Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Elena's Barre and the Resurgence of Sanity. Today I'm with Steve, and hopefully we'll get Nick and Plutarch, my husband, next time. Oh, we'll see, right? I hope Nick will join us for sure. And we received a comment from Luke. He really likes the thumbnail. So yeah, wow. Guys, we are going to have a fun topic today. We will talk about the stepsister, right? Steve suggested this topic.
Yeah, it's a catchy title. I watched a video about the ugly stepsister, kind of a fairy tale of Cinderella and her ugly stepsisters.
Yeah. I watched that video too. So we are going to look into it, guys, and feel free to drop a comment in the chat. We will bring it up if it's relevant to what we are saying here. Yeah, let me put this banner, like, share, and subscribe so that I don't forget. And go follow the Resurgence of Sanity too, please. They have very interesting topics coming for you. I'm very excited about the Wednesday live stream that you guys are going to have. I'm really, really looking forward to it because I even made an announcement on my channel 1 week ahead, guys.
What? Is this the one about monkeys?
Yes. Dancing monkeys.
Okay, wait. You know what? I still don't know what the theme is. Is it is it about monkeys that are dancing or monkeys that are flying?
I think Plutarch said it's dancing monkeys. So
okay. Well,
dancing monkeys.
We can also explain the difference.
Exactly. Yeah, you will do a great job doing that live stream. I'm going to be there, but I will join you late because I have my Pilates class. Bummer. I'll have to rewatch it. I always rewatch the interesting live streams, guys. Well, okay, White Clothes is here. Let me just welcome everyone who is saying hi to us here. So, guys, if we are watching the video and it's going to be on my screen, I won't be able to respond to your comments. And usually it helps when my husband is around or Nick, they can bring up your comments. Okay, so yeah, thank you, White Clothes, for joining us. Yeah, let's begin. Steve, do you want us to watch that video or do a little introduction?
Yeah, okay. So let me do a little preface.
Mm-hmm.
I watched this video. I think it says a lot about female dynamics and the different types of women you encounter. It's not necessarily about stepsisters, but, you know, keeping with the theme woman idea, women kind of, well, on Team Woman, they kind of interact, and we all know about, I'll call it the ugly feminist who seeks to destroy and sow seeds of deception and destruction. And we all, I mean, as a man, you have this ideal of what you want a woman to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it the hot woman? Maybe for some men. For me, it's not. It's kind of the girl next door who's just a good woman. You know, she's smart enough. She has a sense of humility, a sense of service. She's not sassy. She's just a good person. So in the story of Cinderella, yeah, she's beautiful, but she's not putting on airs about how beautiful she is.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, she's dressed in modest clothes. Oh, yeah, clean her up, put her in a gown. She can go to the ball and turn heads, but that's not her life. And then how do the stepsisters react to her? And how does her
Stepmother
act towards her? Okay, well, these are the themes of how women interact, and it's not necessarily reserved to family dynamics. Do you have any other thoughts before we start this?
No, you actually described it pretty accurately, and I really enjoyed that video, guys. So we are going to watch that video, and then we'll stop it if Steve wants to stop and comment.
Well, we'll stop it throughout. I mean,
Yeah.
This is kind of a simple theme. We're gonna watch somebody else's video and comment on it, and you know it'll go however long it goes, but we'll probably have some interesting comments.
Yep. Okay, I have the video ready here.
Okay.
So let's dive into it. And I actually recommend you guys to check this guy out, Man Talks. He has quite a few interesting videos there. So we occasionally bring him up. Cool. Well, let me... Is that not from... Okay.
All right, man. Welcome back to the Man Talk Show. I am Connor Beaton, and today we're going to be talking about what I have dubbed the ugly stepsister problem, one of the main issues with modern dating, and one of the things that you as a man should absolutely steer clear from. Now, for the sake of this, I'm going to be using a fairy tale or a myth to portray what I am talking about, largely because sometimes in myth and fairy tale, they hold these tremendous truths about us as men or women, what we want from relationships, truths about fundamental reality that are much larger than we can put into a single sentence. And they're baked into stories. I like to think of myths oftentimes as a zip file that you can double click on, and it'll open up a huge data packet that helps you to understand something that maybe wasn't so clear before. So let's look at Cinderella as an example. Cinderella has ugly stepsisters. But Cinderella is the embodiment of the princess. She is the embodiment of the woman that men really want and desire, even though she is not an actual princess on paper. Cinderella is humble. She has good values. She is nurturing. She is kind. She's not a noble. She's not born into anything that's necessarily special. She is a common girl with an extraordinarily good heart. And while her ugly stepsisters, not necessarily ugly in looks or ugly in their physical body, but actually ugly in character and personality, are very, very different. You see, Cinderella's stepsisters are the embodiment of the entitled woman. They are overbearing. They are indignant. They are deeply entitled to what they should be, what they should have access to within men and dating. And they act largely without any kind of tether to morals, ethics, or values. Yet the ugly stepsisters expect to be chosen by the prince. Now, this is one of the major challenges that modern men are facing, both within the dating world and within long-term relationships, that there's a bit of an ugly stepsister problem. Again, it's not that women are not attractive, it's that they have been sold a bill of goods from the wicked stepmother. So enter in the symbol of the wicked stepmother. In the story of Cinderella, the wicked stepmother is sort of the puppeteer, if you will, of this whole situation, right? Cinderella's mom dies. Her father remarries this woman who is incredibly mean to Cinderella behind the scenes. She only has the best interests of her daughters in mind. She wants to advance them from a societal standpoint and a social standpoint and put them ahead. And the biggest thing is that she has sort of indoctrinated these girls, these women, her daughters, into a mindset that is brutally unhelpful for them to actually get ahead. And the story of the wicked stepmother in today's society, you can draw parallels to certain narratives within modern society. So in modern society and times, there are some aspects of feminism, there are wounded mothers, and other women on social media that are continuing to push a narrative to women that says, never ever settle. He should just love you no matter what. You should be able to do and say whatever it is that you want, and he should have to deal with it and figure it out. He should have to man up and blah, 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 blah. Don't ever lower your expectations, regardless of whether or not they are connected to any type of reality. And this causes a kind of psychological vacuum where the ugly stepsisters never have to self-reflect. They never have to look at whether or not there is something within them that is causing them to not get the results that they want with men.
Hey, can you stop it there?
The ugly stepsisters in the story is that
So
Okay.
seems to me he described the ugly stepsister as an entitled woman with no accountability.
Yeah.
Is that a common theme today? Is that what the red pill talks about?
I think so. Yeah,
I mean-
I actually loved. I'm not a fan of Disney movies, but that specific one, it actually depicts the characters really, really well. And yes, Cinderella, the prototype of Cinderella, and he will get into it in the video, is not popular today because a lot of women they are just very entitled.
Well, the original Cinderella story is it's a fairy tale,
Mm-hmm.
and Disney just made a movie out of it.
Yeah.
So it's not from Disney. It's not the princess stories that Disney has come up with. In this one, I don't know, when was the original Cinderella made? I'll have to look it up because that's probably. Okay, there's a modern one.
Oh, there is a Cinderella film in 1950s.
Yeah, that's the one that we're thinking about.
Uh-huh.
But they keep remaking Cinderella, and it becomes the theme changes to be more feminist.
Oh, well, everything changes. They take a decent movie and they completely destroy it by bringing up all the feminist ideologies and even portraying some protected classes there, taking the major roles.
Right. They want to remake Cinderella into an empowered young lady.
Of course they do.
She wasn't empowered in the original version. She
Uh-huh.
was just a good woman, a good young woman she had a sense of humility. And she wasn't afraid to work hard. Did she ever complain about working?
No.
Did she ever think she deserved the prince?
Not she thought about the prince, but she didn't believe that she deserved one.
No, but she
She was
responded to the
dreaming. She
prince.
was dreaming because okay, it's technically a dream that all young ladies have. One day they hope that they might be picked up by a prince. Yeah, she was dreaming about him, but she didn't have that sense of entitlement that her stepsisters had.
Right. Okay, well,
Let's keep
I
watching.
guess we can continue. Yeah.
They are the embodiment of a deeply insecure, pride-filled feminine energy, right? So you can kind of think of this as like the shadow of the feminine. The shadow of the masculine is tyrannical, abuse of power, hyper-dominant, rigid, unwavering, unlistening, whereas the shadow of the feminine is this sort of insecure, pride-filled, overly entitled, overly expecting. And the ugly stepsisters really embody that. But the truth is that men, specifically the prince, want the archetype of Cinderella, not because she's more beautiful physically. Of course, that can play a role in real life. That can play a big role in the Disney movie, maybe less so, but it can play a role in real life. But they desire Cinderella because she is more beautiful in character. And this is the big contrast that a lot of modern society misses out on. The fairy tale does a really good job of laying it out. You see the ugly stepsisters mistreating Cinderella, sending her on all these errands, putting her down verbally, sort of castigating her and treating her in a way that is significantly less than them. And she sort of, grins and bears it. She kind of goes through the motions, but she doesn't become jaded and bitter.
Okay, I would love to stop here, Steve. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, but imagine a modern woman gone through the cycle that Cinderella was going through. Like everyone would be offloading the tasks on her. Everybody would be expecting the things from her. Like she was sewing for them. She was cleaning the house, right? She was serving them.
Yeah. Doesn't this describe junior high dynamics? You have the entitled women, the bitchy, mean girls, who are putting down the nice girl with good character. It's just easygoing, helpful, has a little bit of humility. Oh, she may even be more beautiful than the mean girls. But it's a popularity contest. And a lot of women act like, for me to move up in the hierarchy or in attention, I take the other women and put them down.
Well, this is how they gain that self-worth, by putting down the women who have the traditional behavior in them, who are in a serving mode. Notice what feminists are doing. They are essentially criticizing the women who are willing to serve, who are willing to sacrifice their interests for the interests of their family, their husband, right? They say, "Oh, you slave."
The good woman with good character just kind of exhibits that innocence. They want to tear her down and say, "Look at me. I want to put you down so the prince can notice me and not you." It's a competition, but it's insidious. It's nasty. That's kind of my observation of women. As a man who's now over 60, I didn't recognize it when I was a younger man, but women experience this. That's why it's been said women don't really have friends. They have
They really don't.
competition.
They have competition, and I could feel it in school because I actually finished the school where we had more boys in the classroom than girls, and I was more focused on studying, and I definitely had a better personality than a lot of girls in the school. So a lot of guys, they wanted to talk to me, but girls were so jealous, so they would constantly try to do something like like they would mock at me. They were scared to touch me because of my dad, but they were doing some things like they tried to create some intrigues, some rumors, like all sorts of manipulations and nasty tactics to put a woman down. And it starts from a very early age, like if you actually look at the dynamics, how children are talking to each other, oh my gosh, that competition is just ingrained in female nature.
Did those women try to lower your reputation or even trash your reputation?
By all means. By all means.
Oh, wait. In divorce, once you divorce or a woman decides to divorce you, your ex-wife, she may have been nice. Does, in general, she try and destroy her ex-husbands or the husband she's rebelling from? Does she try and destroy his reputation?
Yeah.
To make her look better. Oh, I'm the victim. I'm the innocent one. Look how bad he is. And she'll just absolutely go to town and trash his reputation.
Yep. Oh, Nick is here. Nick, yeah. Well, Nick can't join us because he's busy right now.
Oh, but he says, yep.
But he says, yep. I'm a bad man. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well,
I mean, for the feminists. There was one girl on Twitter, and this is where I jumped in, and I was just like, look, girl, you are just blaming men without even knowing the story. You default to defending all the women and the sisterhood. And she's like, I'm not doing that. You don't know me, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but then you attacked Nick, like the video that he made. I mean, he's a harmless man. He hasn't hurt anyone, and but because she doesn't know him and she doesn't care about the story, she just, well, I see what I see based on what he did. And like, ask yourself why. Why do men do this? It's just
yeah, assuming bad motivations of the man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there are bad men out there, but not nearly to the percentage of women
Entitled women.
who call. Well, you know what? I just watched a recent Pearl stream, and she said 20% of divorces are really contentious. Oh, that's when they try and take your kids away. But it's 35% when they try and get more of the assets and use other terms. So, yeah, it's okay. Let's just say 30% of men out there, divorced men, and the marriage rate or the divorce rate's not that high. So 30% of men of men who get divorced are bad men. Do you really believe that? In your day-to-day life, you encounter many men who, yeah, a lot of them are divorced. Do you get the ick vibes off these divorced men? On a 1/3 of them are, oh my God, he's just terrible. No, a woman scorned hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Doesn't matter. It's just like high school. People, the mean girls will trash the decent woman, try and get her to be as soiled as they are.
Yeah.
Have her to, jump on the carousel.
Yeah, and if women stop listening to these mean girls, these girls become very, very angry because they view these girls as they know inside that these girls are better, and this is where he will also get into the video, that they subconsciously they realize that these girls get a better chance of attracting a decent guy that all women want, regardless of their behavior. We all know what women want, right? We've seen it on so many podcasts, on Fresh and Feed, whatever, Access Vegas, right? They all want that Prince Charming, but not all women get it. And the problem is also that a lot of men, even the men with resources, the high value men, I'm not a fan of this term. I think we need to come up with something else here in the red pill community, because a lot of men, they actually pay attention to the visual parts in the woman, like they disregard, they can close their eyes on her character. This is how women, the nasty women, can get away with it, because there are so many women who get a decent guy and then they abuse the hell out of him, and then they get out of the relationships, they completely ruin the guy. Like, look at what happened with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. He's a decent guy, right? He's from the royal family. Could he find a better woman out there who wouldn't destroy him completely? Probably.
Oh,
But
what
he,
was his
because
problem?
he's so blindsided with the idea of sacrifice yourself for her. So the narrative for men, it's the same feminist propaganda to fulfill the same purpose. The narrative for men that a lot of men are buying into is, you sacrifice yourself, sacrifice your interests for her, which already implies that
Uh-huh.
you be her slave, be a slave to the entitled woman out there.
Yeah, you used a lot of words. Let me summarize it.
Okay.
He was a nice guy and a simp.
Yeah.
And she was a woman with aspirations and a purpose. And yeah, okay, the dynamic was probably backwards. He wanted to serve her and please her. That's the nice guy. And that's kind of the simp behavior of the nice guy. Instead of saying, hey, I'm the prize, I'm the prince. It's my life adventure. I make the decisions. You want to come along on my life? Great. I'll treat you well. But I'm in charge here. And you know what? Know your place. And I say that bluntly, but it's figurative to illustrate where he didn't put her in her place.
Yeah.
Let's just think. He's a prince.
Well, he behaved. Are you saying that he behaved like Cinderella?
No, he behaved like a man who didn't take charge of his woman.
Yeah, but he was a servant to her. Like Cinderella was a servant to.
But Cinderella, that works because men want a good woman who can have that servant mentality,
I'm not saying,
and he will provide. But she never wanted to provide for him. She was entitled from him.
Well, exactly. So she represents the prototype of the stereotype of the stepsisters. Like
I would say so, yeah.
Like most women today, which means that in order for that relationship to survive, they need somebody who would be serving to them, which they will need Cinderella, and a man could be a Cinderella. Not literally, but he could portray the qualities. He could do all of the work. He could be a slave, let's say. And I'm not saying that like Cinderella is a slave, but she kind of was a slave to her stepsisters and her stepmother. So a man is just a slave to a woman.
But when a man acts that way, she tries to get him to act that way. Once he does, what does she get for him? He gets the ick. Hey, damn, he's not the real man. He's not the stud. She gets bored, and she's not attracted to the man beneath her or the man under her control?
Of course not. Because this is not how they are designed.
Right.
It's coming back to that natural law that you guys were talking about. Yeah. Oh, shall we keep
Well,
watching? Oh, what
yeah.
do you want to add? Okay.
No, that's good.
Oi, sorry. Where were we?
A kind of psychological vacuum where the ugly stepsisters never have to self-reflect. They never have to look at whether or not there is something within them that is causing them to not get the results that they want with men. The other thing about the ugly stepsisters in the story is that they are the embodiment of a deeply insecure, pride-filled feminine energy. Right. So you can kind of think of this as like the shadow of the feminine. The shadow of the masculine is tyrannical, abuse of power, hyper-dominant, rigid, unwavering, unlistening, whereas the shadow of the feminine is this sort of insecure, pride-filled, overly entitled, overly expecting. And the ugly stepsisters really embody that. But the truth is that men, specifically the prince, want the archetype of Cinderella, not because she's more beautiful physically. Of course, that can play a role in real life. That can play a big role in the Disney movie, maybe less so, but it can play a role in real life. But they desire Cinderella because she is more beautiful in character. And this is the big contrast that a lot of modern society misses out on. The fairy tale does a really good job of laying it out. You see the ugly stepsisters mistreating Cinderella, setting her on all these errands, putting her down verbally, sort of castigating her and treating her in a way that is significantly less than them. And she sort of, grins and bears it. She kind of goes through the motions, but she doesn't become jaded and bitter. She doesn't become jaded and bitter towards her father for putting her in this situation. She doesn't become spiteful and hateful towards her ugly stepsisters. Obviously, she's got some animosity with the stepmother, but it doesn't cause her to react in such a way where she tries to dismantle them or attack them or take them down. She has the humility and the grace of a kind of like commonplace femininity to not expect that she is entitled to more than what she has. And this is what plays in with the prince, right? She makes this big wish. She goes to this big ball. She's not expecting or trying to go and win Prince Charming, who, by the way, let's pause on Prince Charming. Prince Charming is the archetype of the ideal man for the feminine psyche, right? He has status. He is sort of out of reach. He's in the castle far, far away. He's good looking. He's charming, right? His name is Prince Charming, right? He's got all of the kind of elements and characteristics. He's kind. He's grounded. He's not a warmongering prince. He's not portrayed as that. He's not portrayed as this monster. He is, in some ways, the representation of the sort of quote unquote perfect archetype of a man who has all of the elements of what the feminine psyche would normally look for. Now, obviously, this fairy tale plays out and Prince Charming falls in love with Cinderella and not the ugly stepsisters. And when you read the book or you watch the movie, what you see is that when Prince Charming has the interaction with the ugly stepsisters, he's kind of repulsed. Not because of their looks, but because of the quality of their character. Again, the prince sort of embodies a man who has the intelligence to see through and has the ability to see through the character of people, to see past the beauty, to see past the class level of the woman. And this is a representation of how many men don't really care about the status or the class of a woman. They are interested in whether she is classy, not necessarily of her class in life, society, the economy, etc. And there's a kind of expectation that the ugly stepsisters have, that they bring into the interaction. There's a neediness. They're trying to get the prince. There's this deep hidden insecurity that's embedded into their actions and their behaviors, sort of clawing to get.
Oh, something triggered you. Oh, you're muted.
Thank you.
Okay, start over.
Okay. I agree with what he's saying. He makes a great point. And what I'd like to add here is that he's talking about the neediness that the stepsisters have. I've been watching content, guys, and we've been analyzing it. And I've seen a lot of women today. They say, "Oh, don't show yourself as you are too needy for a man." It's actually feeds into the feminist narrative that they are spreading to other women. He must chase you, not the other way around. So here I have a slight maybe disagreement with him, because he says that these stepsisters are too needy, like they want, and like if you look at it in retrospective throughout history, women were more obvious about what they wanted. Now they hide it, and this is why I decided to bring it up to you guys. So a lot of feminists would say, don't chase him, don't show that you are too needy, because he must want you, he must chase you.
I think it's the same thing. They're acting like the ugly stepsister.
Okay.
Inside, they're insecure.
Okay, yeah.
But they cover it up by entitlement. And they're seeking to pull down the good woman who these men are interested in. Remember, there are not that many, whether you call them Prince Charmings, whether you call it the high value men, not that many of them out there. So every woman, or women in general, are in competition for that. Most women, especially the ugly stepsister type women. They're in competition. So they want to drag down the other woman who this man might go for. Or, oh, he's kind of attracted to this innocent, pure woman. Let me put her down and show him my virtues and my, how much better I am. It's an entitlement. But in a head-to-head competition, they lose. They know they lose because they're insecure about who they are. So they have to pretend to be better than they are and destroy the competition. So
but
then
why do
if
they
I destroy my competition, he'll choose me.
Okay, then why do they act as if they don't need a man? They say, we are so strong, because a lot of men, feminist propaganda works both ways, and a lot of men are looking for a 50-50 partner, let's say. A lot of men are buying into just her looks and not her character. Or they want,
analogies.
They in fact want a strong, independent woman. And this is where women say, they convince themselves and others that if you're not chasing him, he will chase you.
Okay, analogies are never perfect. Women are not simple creatures. They don't just operate on one dynamic or one aspect. So the woman may want the man at some stages, unless she's corrupted or biased by her older women who say, don't have the man. A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle, kind of stuff. Now, are they competing for the man? Not necessarily. They're trying to drag another woman down, crabs in the bucket. I'm miserable. You should be miserable. You don't want men because I don't want men. I've been hurt. So I want to make sure no one else has a happy life with a man. I'm feeling insecure that men are possibly more superior in a lot of aspects, in success, in money, in confidence, whatever. So
Mhm.
I don't want you going there to do that because it just, I'm angry with the world.
Yeah,
So
but
they're trying to, and you know, it all comes down to the mask. You know, I did that
yeah,
that
master
show on the
person.
mask she wears. Okay, is the woman looking for adventure or love? She's in her 20s, in her adventure phase. Yeah, you know what? That's kind of hookups and experience. When a woman is looking for love, she puts on a different mask. Oh, I'm so pure. Now love me for my
Mm.
purity. And she puts that, okay, the excitement, the adventure. Ooh, that's on the back burner. If he knew about that side of me, he wouldn't love me. So it's an act on both sides. You have to integrate the two. You have to find the excitement and the love, being the, just be who you are. But women never want to be their real self because either their real self won't get the experiences they want because they're on a journey, or if they were their real self, oh, I wouldn't be loved for who my real self is. So there's an act going on here with most women. But ironically, or actually, Cinderella in this story doesn't seem to be portrayed as putting on an act. She just is a woman of good character.
Well, the other girls, they pretend to be the women of good character.
Oh yeah, but that's the mask.
Even by saying that you don't, because they are trying to appeal to what's popular, what's common now. They are basically feeding in straight into the feminist propaganda that I'm strong and independent. They still want a man. They still want a man. They expect a man, right? But they have very bad character, very entitled attitude.
Yeah, well, they feel entitled, so they will entice the man and they will seduce the man. Those are manipulations.
Mm-hmm.
So they fall back on their manipulative abilities. Is it a manipulative nature? I don't know. I mean, that's an aspect that all women sometimes resort to manipulation. It's not direct power, it's indirect means of attaining what they want. Okay, it's just exists. So it's not
Yeah.
really, let's not call it a flaw. Let's just call it a
It's
something that women do.
it's a paradox because they say that they want to be strong, independent. They think that these are the qualities that are appealing to men, but they are only appealing to the feminized men. They're not appealing to the strong, rational, masculine man.
Oh, you know what? Maybe they also appeal to Chad, who just wants fun and will use her for recreational purposes because he really doesn't care about her character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Chad is viewed as a high value man. This is why I'm not a fan of this term. You understand now why? Because Chads can be high value as long as they have resources, as long as they have the status. And then a decent, let's say, the archetype of a prince can be a Chad too, that a woman might want. Well, not a Chad, a
Oh,
high value man,
okay.
a high value man, a decent man, let's come back to Prince Harry, right? Since we are talking about Prince Charming, let's look at him as Prince Charming for a second, right? Like the guys who actually have the status, who have the value, who have the resources. It's not just chads, the high value man. What kind of man do women want?
Okay. I understand what you're saying. Let me ask you this simple question, and maybe this will make it clear to you.
Mm-hmm.
Is the quote high value man that you described, is that the best man?
Like for whom?
No, in the ideal world.
Ideal world. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
He should be the best man. Yeah.
The high value man is superficially the best choice. But
Mm-hmm.
the best man or the good man might be actually the best choice. He might have less money. He might be less handsome.
Mm-hmm.
He might be a little less charming, but he's a hard worker. He has high principles and morals. And for security, he will provide and he will protect. And you're along on his adventure. And he's the guy who's actually willing to die for you because he knows his purpose. Is the high value man going to be willing to do that? No, he looks good on paper. So there's this image of the high value man, which is a superficial ideal, but he's not necessarily the high quality man. Does that help to make a distinction in your mind?
Yes. Thank you, Steve. Because I was really struggling with that term. It's like when we are talking about a woman, the high quality woman, is she a tradcon or a trad wife or whatever phrase, popular buzzword she is using for marketing purposes? I almost noticed that it's the same for high value men. A lot of men are just throwing it out there. Oh, he's a high value man. All women must want him. But then,
let me make it personal for you. Is your husband a high value man, or is he a high quality man?
He's a high quality man.
Okay, well, now you understand.
Yeah. See, it's the same kind of principle where the mask she wears, it could be the mask he wears by being a high value man out there, flashing his resources, pumping and dumping chicks, and just doing all sorts of degenerate things. And a lot of women, just because he looks good on the paper, they will disregard his character.
Oh, I think you got it. Yeah.
It works both ways, right? Oh, Nick wrote something to us. Sorry, guys, we were a little distracted with this discussion here. Manipulation through lies, manipulation through lies, though, is a problem. Yeah. True. Okay, shall we keep watching this video?
Yeah, turn it on. I'll be right back. I'll listen while I'm...
Okay.
Attention from him and making sure, and the wicked mother, this is the very interesting part, the wicked mother, stepmother, hides Cinderella away. She does everything in her power in the fairy tale to take Cinderella out of the equation because she knows somewhere in her mind and psyche that Cinderella is more desirable to men than her own daughters, but she does not want to admit it. And this is the big disconnection that we see in modern dating. The big disconnection is that there are many narratives and many people that are continuing to push this story of men should just accept you as you are, regardless of how ugly your character is. Men should just love you, right? If you don't if you don't love me at my worst, you don't get me at my best, right? And it's like, well, sometimes your worst is abusive, and nobody should actually put up with that. But that's kind of glossed over. And so the fairy tale does a very good job of showing, and the myth does a very good job of showing how the wicked stepmother, which again is society, these sort of commonplace narratives, the stuff that you see on social media, is trying to keep the truth away from the ideal man.
You're muted.
Again, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, guys. I just wanted to make a point here that he's so right here, because the truth is not being revealed to us completely. And even in the red pill, look what kind of women do we usually see. It's entitled, delusional, narcissistic women that are being shown to the public. They, in the end, get what they want. Women get more clout, more attention, more external validation. They don't care about men. They don't want to help men solve their issues. And giving them more clout, attention, validation doesn't solve the problem that men are experiencing. We don't see a lot the high quality women out there.
Well, defend.
And
Maybe it does. Remember, there's two ways to define the problem here. Women are not staying faithful, or sticking with, or divorcing too much. Men love too much. And there's a dead bedroom problem. Oh, let's solve this. Become a high value man, and then the women will flock to you. And then you can get laid. You can play the game better by reacting to the way women are behaving. You can become the high value man, instead of saying, hey, maybe you're a high quality man, and women have been led astray by feminism. Maybe we need to address that problem, and how to find a quality woman of good character, rather than just getting your
wasting time on entitled delusional harlots who just keep doing what they are doing because it works, and because all they care about is just getting more clout, getting more attention, more money. No, this is where it comes down to. Yes, Steve, by promoting these harlots, it just doesn't help the situation.
Yeah,
it helps men, it helps the chats to get more pussy. I get it, right? But it's so short-sighted. It doesn't help the 80% of men. And I'm sick and tired of repeating it over and over and over again, because nobody really wants to listen to this.
Oh, I agree. But
because we don't see the women of good character, of good quality women in the manosphere. It's as if they are non-existent. Yeah, there are so few of them, but let's instead promote these harlots. I'm sick and tired of harlots. Okay, if I had a daughter, I wouldn't want this kind of society for her, where her only choices from men would be either LGBTQ guys or the Sims who are funding the harlots.
So let me ask this. Let me summarize what you're saying. Is your complaint that the red pill is trying to teach men how to get more pussy, instead of how to teach men that, no, you want a woman of high character quality? Is that your complaint?
Yeah, and I think it's a reasonable complaint based on the books that I've read, and based on the old red pill that we used to have. Shah, our friend, he made an amazing Twitter, and I can't agree with him more. If we say that women are delusional and entitled, why do we convert men into these dancing monkeys around these entitled delusional bitches? Well, I've paraphrased him. He didn't use those specific words, but the
Okay.
idea was that
What's a simple answer?
they don't want to solve the actual problem.
I'd put it differently. Yeah, women are delusional. Guess what? Men are delusional too. The majority of people are delusional, and they're putting on a mask or an act to get what they think they want, which is not actually what's best for them. It's a superficial approach to life.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's what women are doing. It's a superficial approach to life.
But it's what
It's what men are doing, pursuing these women with a superficial approach to getting more pussy.
Yeah. Where is that old red pill that I used to enjoy and listen to? It's gone. It's like I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated with the quality of content that is coming out of the red pill today. Seriously. And I hate to be the one who brings it up, but like I stopped watching a lot of shows because it's the same thing over and over and over again. Nothing new, not new ideas, well, except for you guys, except for our friend Shah, but it's just degradation because they allowed a bunch of sluts into the manosphere. And what do women do when they get into something, when they get the power, the control, everything? Oh, they destroy things. Rollo mentioned that manosphere was destroyed by women, but like who allowed them to destroy the manosphere? You guys allowed them because you invited a bunch of sluts to your shows. Like,
Oh, wait.
seriously.
Oh, did you see the tits on that one? Oh, wait.
Exactly.
I was
But what kind of
distracted. I was,
content?
yeah, I got off my purpose there for a minute. I think that illustrates what you're trying to say.
Exactly. It's like everything is about these bitches. Everything is about this horse. As if the married women, they're non-existent. Like there are a few decent wives out there. Why don't you make content with them? Okay. Like, and I'm not even talking about myself here. Like Rachel Wilson, you know, Pearl has the decent mindset. Like Ellie is gone. You know, like I understand why a lot of decent women want to leave the red pill because like the priorities that red pill guys have is just like you prioritize horse. Okay, I get it. This doesn't help men, by the way. It feeds straight into the feminism. You are just promoting the same fucking feminist narrative that these harlots are promoting. And then you laugh at them and then you mock at them. It's just like, yeah, but these horses, they still get away through the law system. They still ruin the lives of men. This is what you are promoting. I don't know. I'm sick and tired of trying to say it in a nicer way, guys. I've been trying to. For many, many years, I've been trying to. I'm on a roll today. Yeah. Nick is right here.
You know what? I can push Nick's buttons and get him to go on a rant too. But I was just thinking one thing. Yes, Elena goes off. And she has a lot of passion. But you know what? Frequently, you'll find good women that have a lot of passion and a lot of opinion, and they'll go on and on and on. And okay, you know what? Let her experience all that emotion, because the good thing is it's not directed at her man. It's just she's venting. And you know what? We all want a woman with passion. Theoretically. Well, you can't have, I'll just be blunt. You can't have passion in the bedroom if she's calm and complacent in regular life. And if she goes on some rants, you know what? Great. She's expressing herself. You have to embrace that. You have to just love the woman if she's of good character. This is this is
Well,
advice to the men out there
trying to
listening.
help. I'm just trying to help, guys. And I see like all the work that I'm doing, it's kind of useless with women because like they can still go and take the other part where they get all of that external validation. And I don't understand just like how red pill has been divided so much. You know, there is a promiscuity red pill and there is a more let's say traditional old red pill that is
Yeah, well,
pro rational thinking, actually, you know, pro rational thinking.
well, you know, I'll bring up the term, the Madonna horror complex.
Mm-hmm.
We got the horror side of the red pill, and we got the Madonna side. We got the purity side and the sexual adventure side. And somehow each side is missing something.
Mm-hmm.
You got to bring the two of them together in an exclusive marriage, not promiscuity, but sexual expression with the love and the purity. You can't be one or the other. And so each side has truths that the other side is refusing to see. Now I'm all about monogamy and patriarchy. So I'm just pro sexual expression within the marriage according to moral principles, which are a lot more permissive than a lot of people think they are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, if that sexual expression is within the marriage, it's actually a good sign. But you don't need to go outside of the marriage. See, I think that we are skipping the marriage element in the red pill also, because it's all about the hookup culture. Like how many pussies did you get? Oh, did you fuck that many pussies? Congratulations, you are a high value man that all women want.
Well, let me ask you this, because this is something a conclusion I've come to. Having 10 different pussy, is that better than having one pussy and knowing it really well and how the owner behaves and acts and, you know, being expressive, because you actually know the person and it becomes a mental exchange on a deeper level than just going and getting 10 or 9 other new strange experiences.
Well, it's
is it more pleasurable? Gee, is that more satisfying? For me, I'd rather know one really well.
Yeah, but
just say, okay, this is good.
It comes down to quality over quantity. A lot of men and women also, they prioritize the quantity. The more they have, the better, right? Because you get to experience so many people around you versus just sticking with one and being with the one person.
True enough. Let's get back to the video.
We do, yeah. We got distracted. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's keep watching.
And trying to keep the truth of what men actually want, which is the kind, caring, nurturing woman who isn't coming from this hyper entitled place. And the last thing I'll say is that the stepsisters are kind of push the prince away because of this combination of deep entitlement and the fighting and the kind of expectation that they should be the ones that are chosen, despite their clear sort of like lack in being not, I don't want to say valuable, but their clear lack of character that causes them to be diminished in the prince's eyes. And so Cinderella in this story is the real archetype of the princess, regardless of her social status, regardless of her nobility, regardless of the clothes she wears. And that's the truth in every fairy tale. The real princess is not ever the one that's born into nobility. Sometimes it is just for the sake of the story. It's not the one that's born into this like perfect body or this perfect situation. or the one that's entitled to have the prince. The real princess is the woman who knows her worth and value come from a deep, unwavering connection to her character, to her sense of kindness and compassion and nurturing. And it's not a purity test. I can already hear the comments be like, oh, this is, men are just looking for purity, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. It's not a purity test. It is can you stay connected to your own level of humility and humbleness, regardless of how beautiful you are? Can you stay connected to a level of humility and humbleness, regardless of how much you might actually bring a man in relationship? Can you maintain that humbleness and not get caught in the feminine shadow of hyper expectation and hyper entitlement? And so that's what men are really looking for. And I think when I look at the conversation around modern dating and so many of the gripes that I see that men have with women or with modern dating, is that what they're really talking about is they feel like they're inundated with ugly stepsisters and that there's a lack of Cinderellas. And in part, that's because modern culture and society is perpetuating the narratives that lead to the birth of the ugly stepsisters, right? Again, regardless of, actual physical beauty, etc., but leads this sort of degradation and the degrading of a woman's character, of her connection to her own values, of her connection to her own sense of morals and ethics. And that is a huge part of what men, in my opinion, and you guys can tell me if I am on the money or not in the comments, as you always do if you're watching this on YouTube. But for the most part, men want to be with women that they have a certain level of reverence for, that they have a certain level of admiration for, that they have a certain level of respect for. And Cinderella really embodies that because she could be somebody who is deeply insecure, deeply self-loathing, disconnected from her self-worth, but she could also be somebody who is incredibly bitter and angry and resentful towards men, towards women, but she's not. She's maintained a level of grace and nurturing and kindness for the people that are around her. And that is one of the core elements that I think many men are looking for. And again, guys, you can tell me if I'm hitting this right or not, and your own words. But I think that's one of the core elements that a lot of men are looking for within the modern dating and marketplace. So share your thoughts below. As always, don't forget to man it forward. And until next week, this is Connor Beaton signing off.
Shall I stop sharing it, Steve? Or do you want to go back? Okay.
No, I think that was good.
Mm-hmm.
We can bring this to a close. We'll get to about an hour and a half. Yeah, I enjoyed that talk, and that's why I suggested it for this theme, because we get to explore some elements from a fable. These things were known in hundreds of years ago, and they expressed these concepts or these truths in fairy tales. They told them to children. So if you told this fairy tale to your daughter,
Mm-hmm.
over and over, starting when she's, 4 years old, and you keep telling the story till she's 6, 8, the time you tell stories to kids. Who is the young daughter going to want to identify with? Oh, Cinderella. Daddy, tell me the Cinderella story again. Then he can tell it over and over. Oh, okay. Cinderella had humility, and she was a woman of high quality. And, she didn't complain. Look at those ugly stepsisters. And, they were going on. And every time he tells the story, he can embellish it a little bit more. And he can include elements that he saw in his day-to-day life about, the old lady across the street was pissing and moaning about this, and how she's corrupting her daughters. And so he can throw a little bit of that element in. Of course, he's not going to name her, but that story gets told over and over, and it would have a big impact on a young woman or young girl to emulate in who she wants to be and help to develop her character and what's right.
Unless they rewrite the story, and this is what they do with good movies and old stories, old fables. They try to present it as a feminist, from a feminist viewpoint, where they will celebrate the stepsisters, the stereotype of the stepsisters instead of Cinderella. They will mock the Cinderella and raise the stepsisters. And then the kids will be told this new version of the story, of the Cinderella story, but from a completely wicked standpoint, where they will not want to be associated with the Cinderella character. They will want to be associated with the stepsisters.
Well, you haven't heard the last part of that story. This one, it's never been told before.
Mm-hmm.
See, the ugly stepsister did not get the prince, but she still felt entitled. So she went to university. She got a degree in English literature.
Uh-huh.
And then she minored in women's studies. Then she went back and she rewrote the story to make her the victim, heroine, winner in the story. And she, instead of just, trashing Cinderella, no, she's changing the story to remove the lesson, which made her look bad because she felt bad about being the bad example in the story. So you see, she won in the end because she became empowered. She got her literature and women's studies degree and rewrote the story.
And being single today, it's not actually as bad in the feminist eyes, because all they want to do is just get more power, independence from men. There is a reason why they all want to be independent from one man, so that they can buy whatever they want. Nobody is placing any restrictions on them. Nobody is placing any demands on them.
Is that true? Or is it a rationalization that they've taught themselves to believe is true? Well,
they truly believe that thing, they truly
right.
They
rationalize it. They stick it in their head. This is the explanation. I believe my rationalization is true. Does that really make it true?
No, it doesn't. They are deluded.
They're rationalized. And unconsciously,
they rationalize it because these are the delusions that they want to support, that they want to believe in, and then they come up with these excuses and reasons to believe into this crap.
Yeah, you know what really irritates them? When they see another woman who might be living the more traditional way, who has a good husband. Just, it irritates me that they exist. So let me try and destroy that so I don't feel so bad about that.
Steve,
I don't feel bad about missing out.
Why they are frustrated? Because they've been told for their entire life that if they pursue their career, if they become this Miss Independence, if they are strong, powerful, they will get the man on a golden platter. And then as they hit the wall, they waste their life doing all of those things that society has told them to do. They hit the wall and nobody wants them. At best, they become the replaceable plate for the Chad, at best. But even then, they will run out of that option because their looks will fade and the Chads will want to fuck younger, hotter models.
Yeah, okay. So you're saying she can become she can be one of the plates he's spinning?
Exactly.
Then when he gets tired of spinning your plate, he's going to stop giving any energy to it. The plate's going to fall off the stick and break.
Yeah.
And then, who wants a broken plate? Can't spin a broken plate, can you?
No. No, there is a reason why there is so much corn with all the women for free, guys. You don't have to pay for that. They offer it for free because at least this is how they get some validation and maybe some money eventually.
Oh, but Mr. Nice Guy can fix a broken plate.
Well, this is why they are
Some
pushing
glue,
this narrative.
Find this beautiful broken plate. You can fix it. You can fix her.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, bullshit. You can't fix her. A broken plate is a broken plate.
I completely 100% agree with you, but this is not the narrative they are pushing to men. They want men to be the servant leaders. They want men to be the good man, the nice man who will pick up these plates and restore them. Completely worthless plates. They're broken. Nobody wants them. Yeah, but a nice guy, the true man, the man of traditional qualities. Notice how they appeal to traditionalism every time they run out of other options and they read the parts of the Bible that they want, that sound appealing to them. But a man is supposed to love a woman, but a man is supposed to take care of a woman, and some other parts. They don't read the parts of the Bible that talks about how a woman is supposed to behave.
Well, no, because they're already a good woman.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what she does. But I'm a good woman. Uh-huh. What, your behavior
Suggests
not necessarily
otherwise.
good.
Yeah.
However you want to say that.
Yeah, and they take it personally when somebody calls out their behavior. I've had so many women like really like either blocking me or not talking to me anymore because I called out their behavior. They took it as a personal attack, and it's so convenient for them to do that because they can just say, I'm a victim here, why do you take me? You just don't understand my story. I have such a special story with so much personal experience. You haven't experienced what I've been through. You don't understand me. Does it sound familiar?
Yeah. You can't know anything about me because every situation is different. Therefore, stereotypes don't apply to me.
Mm-hmm.
And not all women are like that. Yeah, I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they don't want to talk to me. They don't want to even be on the show. To like, I've been inviting women. I've been telling them, look, you disagree? Come on and let's have a conversation here. You will have to talk to all the three of us. You know. And then they're like, not interested.
Yeah, of course. Even though they might be deluded, they're not stupid. Because they know if they came on and tangled with you, they get their ass handed to them.
Oh, most definitely. I've only had two women. It was Eamma, and I love Eamma. And it was Jenna, a decent girl also. But she is dating somebody who is in the red pill. So, yeah. Two girls, and they were pretty much within the red pill. Nobody else wants to come here. Well, because see, they would much rather go to the show. Okay, if they have to go through humiliation and some personal attacks, they would much rather go to the show that gives them more clout, right? That gives them what they want. They understand that, okay, it's a business expense. I write it off. I just sit. I might even put some cries on big screen for the audience. So in the end, I still get the money. I still get a simp army. I still get my independence. I get promotion. I get more clout.
Yeah. Clout. They get more attention.
More attention, exactly, from more
But
people.
it's all looking for the attention
Mm-hmm.
and the praise. If they, and a lot of it's there. Well, I shouldn't. Let me say it differently. There is a strong motivation for a woman, for any woman, to act that way to get the attention and get the praise. Because if she's wearing a mask and pretending, and if she's told, "Oh, you're so great," it helps to give her the energy to maintain the mask instead of just being the real woman who, yeah, okay, I had some screw ups here. Yeah, I walked through the mud and my feet are dirty and the mud squished up between my toes. No. I'm the woman who always walks on marble floors and my feet never got dirty.
Well, you know,
Okay.
it's either that or they actually have some honest horse. They do. They say, "I'm a whore." Well, I'm a whore. Oh, okay. But they don't even realize that it's something wrong that they are doing.
Yes, they do unconsciously.
Unconsciously, but society doesn't hold them to any higher standard. Okay, once you are a
see?
whore and have a big OnlyFans account, you're welcome. Welcome, come share your experience. What kind of exotic experience must she share with the guys? Like, what, do you want to talk about sex? Is Red Pill about sex? Is it all about like fuck? If you don't fuck, then you are just not a human being. You are not a man. You are not a proper man, Steve, because you are celibate. You are voluntarily celibate. You are a lesser man. You are not an alpha man.
If I could find a good woman, then I wouldn't have to volunteer for this. So maybe I'm involuntarily celibate.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm an incel. Oh no.
Like, yeah, and calling everyone an incel is just women don't help it. And then Red Pill either helps men or it helps promiscuity and harlots. That's just my verdict. That's just my opinion. Okay, guys, you can take it or leave it, but this is what I think about it. Red Pill either helps men, the 80% of men, how it used to help men before the harlots got invited into the sphere, or it helps harlots. It can't help both. Take your pick. I prefer to help men. But it means that I have to completely trash the horse because they are like, no, we are not going that path, because once you go, you betray man. You're doing what church is doing to man. By become this alpha man that all women want. Do this, do that. Feed your delusions. Feed your entitlement. So that you get more pussy. What about?
Well, if that's your goal, and if that's what you want, it works. But you know what? My approach is different. And on the resurgence of sanity, our approach is different. It's not quite as impassioned and directive as Elena. We talk about the issues and we put them out there. Yeah, we have our opinions. And my personal opinion is very similar to Elena. But I'm just going to talk about the issues. I don't want to tell you what to do. It's not my job. I want to talk about the issues, give you something to think about, and apply it in your life however you please. The information is here. I can't tell you what to do. That's not my job.
Well, I can't tell them what to do either, because it's like I can tell, but they can completely disregard it, and it's totally fine. I understand. It's just I don't like where we are headed. I don't agree with this. It's just my opinion, as I keep saying. And I just don't see how helping horse is helping man. Because this same horse that the guys are promoting and doing the shows with, and it's totally cool and fine if they want to hook up and fuck each other, it's totally cool, okay? Like, I don't care how people choose to live their lives and whom they choose to fuck. It's just these same whores that are being promoted are destroying men's lives. They're destroying their sons' lives. They're destroying their kids' lives by alienating their children away from their fathers. This is my bigger concern. I'm more concerned about the upcoming generations, about the future, rather than who fucked whom, or let's have some fun with that.
True enough. Provide the information. But all these men that are being destroyed, those that survive and don't unalive themselves, learn a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And they're wiser going forward. And then they talk about it. They don't always get everything right. But look at the immense progress we've made in explaining these things. And we have a growing marriage strike. We have a growing number of men who say, yeah, I don't need that entitled stepsister feminist.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want a good woman. Okay. Do they always make the right choice? Will they bang the hot feminist? Maybe. Probably. They'll probably do that for a while. Maybe go through a few of them. I can't control that.
Yeah.
And eventually, a lot of them say, you know what? Just not worth it.
Not worth it. Yeah.
And they learn their lesson the hard way, as we all do. So I can't save somebody from their own bad decisions. I can provide the information for them to reflect on and maybe save themselves from a bad decision or recover after they've made a bad decision. That's my approach to life.
Yeah. In the end, people are going to make decisions based on what they want, and sure, but they need to realize that there are consequences to their actions. This is something that is not being taught. Like, I mean, you guys are talking about consequences, and we did an episode on consequences. I think it was a few weeks ago.
It's being taught every day.
Yeah.
People learn that there are consequences to their behavior after they do the bad behavior and then suffer the consequences, and they go, "Oh shit."
Well, but in the case of delusional entitled women and simps who are bailing women out, they prevent women from experiencing the consequences of women's poor choices.
Well, that's
and our
true.
government, and look, our society doesn't demand now that women stay married and they stay with the family, right? Women can fulfill themselves independently. They can make a lot of money by themselves by selling their naughty pics on OnlyFans, on social media. They don't need to do the actual work, but it is their work. They consider themselves the sex workers. Okay, it's a prestige title now, and they don't need to commit to one man. And
okay, that's all you're seeing.
Well, look. This allows them to behave the way they behave until they run out of options, but they make enough money so that they can support themselves, they can maintain themselves, and spread more delusions to younger women.
They make enough money so they can buy cat food and have that 2-bedroom apartment and buy box wine. And then think about the immense progress that's been made in the past 5 years. Now we have untold women out there whining and complaining that I'm in my 40s and I can't find a good man and blah, blah, blah. They're just, they're suffering the consequences. More and more. And they're all whining and blaming men, and it's getting worse. And more women are waking up to the consequences of their behavior. Although they're still trying to rationalize their behavior and teach younger women to do the same thing that ends them in the same situation.
This is why I see
there is a growing number of women who are experiencing this. That's progress, and it's not been done by the men. This progress is by the women's own behaviors that's leading them all to this oh shit moment.
Well, I mean, they start sharing the true stories. The problem with the big shows usually is that they invite very well-known, very popular porn stars. They invite very accomplished sex workers who have clout, who have like millions of followers, right? Who have thousands, hundreds of thousands of simps who are funding their lifestyle, very successful women, or they invite like some fempreneurs, very like women who have actually succeeded, right? So even if men don't choose them, these women probably will be fine, but it's not most women out there.
They're not.
Most women are average, right? And then they don't want to show the average women. They don't want to show the women who are like, okay, I did some OnlyFans there for a few months. I didn't make as much money as I expected, and now I'm just a broken plate, and nobody really wants me. They don't show those women.
None of these women are going to be fine. None. I don't give a shit whether these women will have $1, $2, $5 million in the bank, live in a nice house. They haven't fulfilled their purpose, and they're not going to be happy. And I've learned.
You can buy the happiness, Steve. I'm just throwing.
No, you can't. Because you know what? I've made decent money in my past life. I'm doing okay now. I've lost a lot of it through 2 divorces.
Mm-hmm.
And friends that, you know, guys I graduated from college with didn't go through the experiences that I did. And they have a lot more money than me right now. Are they happier? I don't know. Probably not. Have they learned as much as I have about things? Probably not. Do I regret? Well, okay, things could have turned out better. But you know what? I've learned a lot. I like who I am today. I'm content with what I'm doing. Yeah, I have aspirations for the future, what I'm going to do. Life is okay for me because, you know, I do these podcasts that gives me purpose. I go to work. It gives me something to do. I'm financially secure. I don't have a woman in my life. Yeah, that would be really nice. And no matter how much money I have or secure I am, I still can't replace that desire for having a companion.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the same thing with these women. Of course, you know what? Women are not as independent as men. They're just not. So even if they have all the trappings of being okay, emotionally, they're not. Because I just believe women were not designed to be independent creatures.
Yeah, that's so true.
A man was designed to be independent. You know, go back to Genesis. He was designed for independence, but he was lonely. So God created a companion.
Yeah.
He never created the companion to be independent.
Exactly.
So she doesn't have that feature. So she can pretend that she's independent. But there's a deeper need that a woman has for a man in her life than a man has for a woman. Because a man without a woman, he's just going to feel lonely.
I wish we had
When a woman doesn't have a man, she feels kind of out of sorts and adrift and without meaning. Because, maybe I'm paraphrasing, but the woman was created as a helpmeet for the man. Okay, I'm just sticking with that because I see it all around. All these women who have the trappings of, oh, she's doing fine. No, emotionally, He's a basket case.
Yeah, yeah. Not created for independence, Nick says. I wanted to finish my point where I said I wish we had Nick, because I would ask him this question. Is our society run by Satan?
What did you say? Is our society run by women?
By Satan. Okay, look, Perry here says, as a man, I'll never forgive Eve.
Okay. Our society is run by women, and women are listening
to
to
Satan.
the serpent.
A serpent, Satan, I call it Satan.
Okay, well,
Okay, but yeah.
Satan is represented by the serpent.
God has given us over, I think. That's what I'm thinking too.
Oh, okay. So maybe we should draw this to a close, and then you come up with a way that we can bring this theme up again, and then we can jointly trigger Nick and get him to go on a big rant.
Yes, yeah, that would be awesome. Steve, you are master at triggering people. I didn't intend on saying the things I've said today during the live stream, but I'm just, guys, I'm just here to help, okay? And I'll do my best to work on women. I don't want to work really on men. I appreciate the Resurgence of Sanity, guys, for your patience and for your guidance. And thank you, Steve. You are like a father to me. And Nick is like a brother. So when that girl went crazy on Twitter, I was just like, I'll defend my man. I'll defend my men because I care about men, you know? I'll defend my brothers and my dads and, yeah, the father figure. So, yeah, okay. And I know when he does it, but don't care. Well, I figured that this is what he was doing too, but I didn't care. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You ascribe that motivation to me. I don't consciously have that motivation. I just ask questions that just kind of just naturally does that. And then, oh, okay, this is entertaining.
Explosive, yeah. Throw grenade and watch how it turns out. So yeah, guys, it was a fun episode. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. Thank you, White Claws. I don't know if you're still here. Nick, thank you for your comments. Even though you were not with us on screen, you were still commenting, and we appreciate your feedback. And Luke Perry, thank you for your kind support.
Oh yeah.
So funny. Well, we'll see you all next time. And guys, a quick reminder, go please subscribe to the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel. I'm going to quickly show you our schedule. By now, you probably know the schedule if you are coming back and watch our stuff. So here on the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel, guys have two amazing shows for you. They are talking about the exposing of narratives on Mondays at 5:45 p.m. Pacific. And then on Wednesdays, they are talking about the countercultural sexuality topics at the same time at 5:45 p.m. And then join me for regular workouts on Saturdays at 9:15 a.m. Pacific. Then on Saturdays, we have deep dive conversations like this one with the Resurgence of Sanity, guys. And if you'd like to debate us, please reach out, okay? If you don't agree with something that we are saying, if you don't agree with my articles on Substack, which I hope that you're subscribed to and you read my articles, they can be lengthy sometimes, but I'm working on it.
Oh, you know what? Nobody's going to come on to debate us.
Yeah.
So here's a better idea.
Okay.
Let's invite somebody else on with their topic.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can, bring it out, and they can trigger you. So you can go on a rant about their topic and they can be entertained. I think that would be fun.
I remember you associated me with a cheap machine where you don't even need to put the coins in. You just get the reaction.
Yeah, it's like the old jukebox. You can put the quarter in and get it to play a song. Or if you remember Happy Days, Fonzie, all he had to do is go over, give it a nice elbow, and man, the thing would start playing. So come on here, metaphorically, do that elbow and just kind of give Elena a little nudge and see if you can get her to go on a rant.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Come join us, guys. We have a lot of fun here. You can tell, right? Anyway, yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in today. Remember to please like, share, and subscribe on the way out. And we'll see you all next time. Okay. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far.